When you remove layers, simplicity and speed happen. Ginni Rometty. My friends, we keep it simple as possible by removing all those layers, making these charts honed down and as accurate as we can. We use what? We use Heiken Ashi candlesticks. I think they are the best. You don't have to think about any of these complicated patterns or anything else. You can just see the movement. Also, we use our volume and we use trend lines. Does it get any simpler? And additionally, look at all three charts. That is the half day, that is the short term, the 2-day, the intermediate, and the weekly, which is our long term. And what do we see happening as we jump into the S&P 500 at the close of the markets on Monday going into Tuesday? We see markets pulling back. Look at this, for the first time in a long time. We see things are starting the week off. We might have started red here, so we'll be careful, but we can see we have a red candle forming on the weekly chart. We, of course, have been negative in volume. All that means is that the price was lower at the start of the week than the prior week. Otherwise, and it's just the way we have it set up as far as our volume goes. We just clicked a button here. In fact, I think I can show you under settings. See this right here where it says color based on previous close? Watch over to the right here when I click off that, and you'll see it goes to green unless it's a red candle. So we change it so that we, I think, have a more accurate chart. That works better. So what do we see going on? We see things slacking up for the first time in a while. Now, it could revive. We saw this happen before, right? We saw things go flat. Then we had this week of we literally had a doji, and then things went back up. So we're not pulling everything at this point, but we are paying close attention on the 2-day chart as it breaches the weekly trend line. And on the half day, you can see where it went through on Friday and then continued down on Monday. You can see where things peaked all the way back here. And in fact, on the half day chart, that started Friday morning. You can see it on the Friday candle there from the 16th. That was Friday the 16th where that initially occurred, and then things slowing down since then. So we are paying close attention to see if our up move has ended. If it has been a good one to us. Our jumping in point, worst point on that first week would have been 402.49. Second week, where you were probably more likely to have jumped in, 409.70 up to a high of 443.90. Is that not beautiful? Yeah, that's beautiful. 409.70 to 443.90. Not bad. So anyway, we'll continue to watch. Didn't expect to catch all that, but even today, where are we? You know, the high during the course of the day, 434.61, the low 431.19. So again, beautiful. So we'll continue to watch and see if this is indeed ending. Now the NASDAQ 100 down much more. The S&P was down 0.41%. NASDAQ down 1.43%. We can again see on this 2-day chart where it's breaching the weekly trend line. Half day, same way. We can see where it peaked again about the same time back on the morning of Friday, the 16th of June. And again, it's hard to tell what that is. Let's blow that up, see if that's a doji or not. Really can't tell. Doesn't look like it is. Looks like it's, but again, not that important. It is slowing down, and we will pay attention as we go throughout this week to see if these markets are really rolling over. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Pay attention to that. See just what's happening. Let's go to 20-year bonds. Up a little bit for the day. Again, we've not been super excited. Why? Because things are so flat. Look at that trend line, flat. We are above it on the half day, the 2-day, and the half day. Excuse me, and that is good to see. Only up for the day, 0.11%. So again, moving in the right direction, but not a lot of movement. We like things to move in the right direction more than what we're seeing. We like to see lines going up or coming down. Now, let's look at gold. Where is gold? Gold up a little bit for the day, 0.17%, though still red for us. Red down candle forming for the week. We see the 2-day is decently below the weekly trend line, as is the half-day. We can see where things bottom, sort of sliding sideways. So we'll keep an eye on gold and see what gold is going to do if indeed the market's starting to roll over hard. We will pay attention, see if it's going to flip around, be a safe haven for people to put some things. Of course, if the market really starts to crash, what typically happens with gold? People are having to cover margin calls and other things. And many times when you start looking at gold, people start selling it to do those kinds of things. So it doesn't necessarily go up. It is not correlated to be the inverse of the stock market. What is the inverse of the stock market? Well, we have two things. We have many options. One of the easiest that we find for you to practice trade is a simple inverse fund like SH. That is the single inverse of the S&P 500. Now that chart that you saw, look at what happens when you go to something like SH. When you start seeing the market go down, it goes up. What's it been doing over the last many weeks? It's been going down. What do we have as far as the inverse of the NASDAQ 100? PSQ. What is PSQ? Well, it's the inverse, and of course, it's been going down as the NASDAQ 100 has been going up. Maybe that's coming to an end. Again, we don't follow those inverse charts. We follow our big charts. We follow these charts. And then when things reverse, what we do is we go in and we do a practice trade on those inverse funds, but I continue to follow the big charts. Why? Because they're the big charts. It's where the volume is. That's where things are really happening. Those inverse funds are derivatives made to follow those in an inverse pattern. Now, we talked about gold. Lastly, let's talk about Bitcoin, down for the day 2.4%. Now, this is a Heikin-Ashi candlestick. Remember, it is averages based on prior movements. We can see that a green up candle is forming. And this 2-day candle here that represented Friday and Monday, we can see where things hit a higher high, but we can see on the half day on Monday where things rolled over. So keep an eye on things. Now that things have turned around in Bitcoin, I do want it to go up for a while. We'll see if the stock market's rolling over, what will actually happen with Bitcoin. Not saying it is, but saying it sure has been going up for a long time and maybe it's getting ready to roll over. Will that mean Bitcoin will soar? We will wait and we will see, but we are in the green. Always love to hear from you. cw@chartingwealth.com. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters. Patreon members, thank you for your support.